In today's video, why the secret to losing belly fat is when you do your cardio. Guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I got a great question on my Instagram direct message. So first of all, if you guys have questions for me that you'd like me to answer, I love answering them in my direct message. And if I feel it's a message that I'm getting quite frequently, that's when I love to make these videos, guys. I'm an expert on fat loss. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I really like just explaining my process as a coach, helping those that are interested in changing the way their physique looks. I want to break down all the nonsense that you hear, and I want to give you the real world examples of how things are done. Now, today's question is a great one, so here it is. I saw your YouTube video about getting rid of stomach fat in your routine of walking first thing in the morning. I do go to the gym first thing in the morning on a fasted state and work out for about 45 minutes. Then I walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes. Will I get the same benefit? So I want to explain the concept of how do we get rid of belly fat. I want to give you some visual representation so you can understand it. And why do I like to explain that? Because I think there's confusion around just what it takes to get to 10% body fat, 12% body fat, whatever the body fat is where you're happy. And I'm going to explain exactly how everyone can get there. First things first, body fat does not come off how we want it to come off, okay? It's going to come off in a predetermined manner. Now, the areas that we tend to focus on, the stomach, the lower back, the love handles, the stubborn belly fat, those areas are typically, depending on your genetics, going to be the areas that get lean later in the process. Meaning, you have to deplete the body fat stores from the rest of our bodies before it starts to deplete there. Body fat is just stored energy on our body, right? So it can be thought of as a good thing. However, most of us don't assume body fat is a good thing because there are some detrimental health issues that can be caused because of too much body fat. So when we're trying to lose body fat, a lot of people will have some success in getting body fat off, and then they'll get to a point where they tend to focus on the areas that are left. This is why the six-pack abs, right? We can see that as like a big part of this. And I'll show you some examples. We just had our last 90-day transformation challenge, and both of the gentlemen that were our top placers that I've interviewed so far the podcast, if you look at here and you look at here, you'll notice there's an extreme change in the body fat that's on the belly. And if you look here and look here. So I want to talk about what they did to get there, what I do to get there, and just what that process is like. First thing you got to understand is, how do we get rid of that belly fat? My favorite way to represent this visually is one of two ways, either the pool analogy or the paper towel analogy. The pool analogy is this. You've got a body of water in a pool. If you want to get the belly fat off, that's represented by the water at the bottom of the pool. So how do you get there? Day one, you grab a big bucket, you scoop some water out. But guess what? The water at the bottom of the pool is still there. You've got to empty the pool, drain the fat stores until you get down there. Then, while you're in a caloric deficit, you're going to be burning through that last bit of body fat or the water at the very bottom of the pool. Okay, and the reason I said the paper towel analogy is, think about a paper towel roll. You know, you've got the paper towels closest to the center. Same thing. You've got to unravel all those paper towels, or all that body fat has to come off till you get to the center of that roll. That's how body fat works, right? And there's no way to go around that. There are not exercises to help you lose belly fat. There are not diets to help you lose belly fat. There is just one process, losing body fat. Now, how do we do that? So my friend here asked me the question, why do I believe in walking first thing in the morning? Fasted walking, does it have a magical property when compared to other forms of cardio? First things first, this is going to sound confusing, but no, okay? I'm going to break it down into three things for you, okay? Three parts of your day. There's the energy that you burn throughout the day by doing nothing, your basal metabolic rate, right? That's a pretty standard set amount of calories. Then there's the amount of calories that you consume, right? You're taking in calories, right? Now, typically, the amount of calories that you consume is going to pretty closely match what you require to keep the lights on, to breathe, to move throughout the day. However, sometimes we can overconsume and we can actually put on body fat. This is what happens when we get to a place where we're uncomfortable. So how do we change that? Well, typically we're going to change our diet. And if you have no idea where to start with your diet, I've got you. I've got a free calculator, ProPhysiqueMacros.com. I've also got a transformation challenge starting September 9th for 90 days. We're going to help you guys with your goals. But the idea behind all this is that we're changing our diet so that we're taking in less calories than we burn throughout the day. Why does cardio play a role? Well, cardiovascular activity can help you burn more calories throughout the day. meaning your diet could even stay the same and you could lose body fat as long as those are true. However, a lot can be said about doing things fasted. There's a lot of talk about why things fasted are better. However, they're not better if calories and activity are equal. The reason that I implemented my morning cardio is because my life did not allow for me to simply do cardio whenever I wanted. I had to get up and do it before the rest of my day started. My kids, my work, my schedule, my training, whatever it is. If I didn't do my cardio first thing in the morning, I found I was pretty sedentary throughout the day. I did find something that magically happened when I started doing my cardio at say 5:30, 6 in the morning every day, is that I was more adherent. Well, why would that be? It doesn't matter if you do your cardio in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening. It just matters that you do it. Likewise, it doesn't matter how many calories you eat throughout the day. If it's equal, you're going to get the same result. However, if you can psychologically and physiologically put yourself in a place to be better able to handle the caloric deficit, such as for me, doing cardio first thing in the morning set the tone for the day. I already did my hour walk. I already did my half-hour walk, whatever phase I was in. Why would I want to then ruin that the rest of the day by just eating crap? What I found was I was more adherent to my nutrition plan because I had gotten up early and already accomplished something early in the day. If you're just waiting and waiting and waiting to do your cardio, throughout the day you're eating meals, you're having extra snacks, you're having extra bites. Not everybody, but you see my point here. You want to create the least resistance to your goal. You want to make this process as easy as possible. You don't want to have to constantly be stressed about your diet, about your training, about your cardio. You want to set it and forget it. Planning ahead your meals, doing things early in the day before the rest of the day gets going is really going to set you up for success. So do I think there's a magical property to doing cardio first thing in the morning fasted? Not based on the science of it, not based on the activity of how many calories you burn and how many calories you take in. However, I've done it both ways and I've gotten shredded both ways. And what I'll say is it's much easier for me when I just do my cardio first thing in the morning out of bed. I get up, I go, I do it. Then I start my day. My day is much smoother. I've already gotten that piece of my day done. For a lot of people, cardio is not something you enjoy. I happen to enjoy it. I do it on my treadmill in my office and I have a TV in front of me, so I actually get to watch a show or something because I don't get to watch much television otherwise. My kids occupy that. So what I find is that half hour, that hour, whatever time I'm spending is my time to enjoy a little bit and I look forward to it. So if you can find something like that, it's going to make the process that much better. Now I've created a caloric deficit. I've already done some cardio. Honestly, I also have more energy throughout the day. My mood is better when I get up and move right away. I am a 48-year-old lifetime natural bodybuilder, so that may play into it, guys. Whatever phase of life you're in can impact you, but it sounds like you've already had some success. I love the idea that you're working out first thing in the morning and then you're doing your cardio. I do believe your emphasis when you have the time should be on resistance training prior to cardio, right? You want to make sure your performance in the gym is the best it can be. You don't want to diminish your training quality because you already did some cardio. However, doing cardio right after training is perfect. I prefer to do my cardio first thing in the morning, eat a few meals, and then I'll go train in the afternoon. I work from home. This is my house. Sometimes I just use going to the gym as an excuse to leave for a few hours. So whatever works best for you guys, it really doesn't matter when you eat, when you do your cardio, when all things are equal. However, if when you eat and when you do your cardio is going to positively impact your ability to stick to the plan, be excited about the plan, and execute the plan, then hey, maybe there is some magic to that morning fasted cardio. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow.